It's 6 a.m.
Coming up on News 10, good morning.
Depression affects millions of Americans. I'm Jane McCarthy. Coming up, we'll tell you how you can get a free screening test.
Authorizing force against Iraq, the U.S. House of Representatives votes on a resolution today.
Longshoremen back on the job at West Coast ports, but catching up on all that work will take a while.
Fall returns to the area. I'll have your cool forecast. We are getting busy. We'll take a close look at your commute next.
And now, this is News 10 Good Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. It's Thursday, October 10th. He's Dan Elliott.
She's Sharon Ito. We got Renee Apple in for Melissa, and we've also got Darla right here telling us about the weather.
It's going to be a cool one today, finally feeling like fall again. We started off earlier in the month with temperatures in the 70s. Well, today we're not going to quite get there, but very nice weather out. Clouds today, partly cloudy skies this morning, 58 degrees out, partly cloudy for the lunch hour, and only 69. And check this out, 80 degrees as you head on home. I have the 7-day forecast for you as well to see if this type of weather is going to stick around. But Renee said it's getting busy on the roadway, so let's see how things are going now.
We are. Here's I-80 at Riverside. Traffic starting to slow at this point, and you're in and out of crowds down to the split. No accidents. Further, I-80 in Fairfield. So far, it's a decent ride. It's getting busy as you approach Toll Plaza. Otherwise, shouldn't be too much of a problem there. Stockton and Modesto, both cities in good shape. No accidents reported on any of our local freeways. And as far as heading up from the south area, northbound 99, we're looking at Fruit Ridge. Traffic very heavy and slow back up to Florin, and no problems reported on I-5. More traffic in 10 minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Renee. And topping our news this morning, Congress votes today on a resolution authorizing force against Iraq. The president outlined his stance on Iraq in a televised address Monday night. Mr. Bush says Saddam Hussein could become a major threat to the U.S. if he obtains nuclear weapons. The president wants weapons inspectors to have unrestricted access in Iraq. He doubts that will happen, and so the president also wants the power to launch an attack against Saddam. Today, the U.S. House of Representatives votes on the resolution. The Senate could vote on the resolution before the end of the week. Longshoremen along the West Coast are back at their jobs this morning. Thousands of locked-out workers returned to the docks following President Bush's intervention. The longshoremen will begin unloading an enormous backlog of ships from San Diego to Seattle. At the Port of Sacramento, 20 longshoremen were back at their jobs last night. They began unloading the General Villa, a ship filled with lumber for Northern California builders. Many of those workers weren't happy at being ordered back to work, but say they do have a job to do.
Mixed emotion, because I would have really liked to have an agreement, before we went back to work, but this is what the president said, so this is what we have to abide by.
I understand the longshoremen's feelings too, because to them it puts them at they believe, a disadvantage in the negotiations.
And the longshoremen will be back on the job while a federal mediator tries to get both sides to agree on a new contract.
6:02 is the time a jury has handed down the death penalty for killer Cary Stayner. Stayner, convicted in the murders of 3 women visiting Yosemite in 1999. He was found sane at the time that the killings took place. It took the jury 2 days to come back with that sentence recommendation. Stayner returns to court on December 12th when the judge will officially hand down the formal sentence.
Just a few weeks to go before California must choose a governor, and more than ever it seems voters are saying they don't like either major candidate. The group that released the photo has now retracted the allegations. That photo that shows Gray Davis accepting a campaign contribution inside a private home. But this whole mudslinging incident has left voters confused about it all.
Really makes me wonder, does he take critical things like that and evaluate them to see if they're credible or not before taking action upon them?
Simon has done so many foolish things already, in the last 90 days, that I don't know if it's because he's a novice or he's not prepared or if it's his handlers.
The execution was atrocious. It was an example of terrible staff work.
Now back to that photo flap. Simon now acknowledges that the donation Davis accepted was not taken at the state capitol but at a private home, which is legal.
4 women accused of running an illegal pyramid scheme in Sacramento and Placer counties were given quite a show of support during their arraignment Wednesday. Supporters cheering the defendants as they walked into court. People who insist the so-called Women Helping Women group is perfectly legal. Still, prosecutors say most who invest their money will lose it, while the top organizers rake in tens of thousands of dollars. Cheryl Bean, Pam Garibaldi, Kathy Lovely, and Ann King all face felony charges. They insist they did nothing wrong. They were gratified by the support they received.
Yes,
Why do you think that happened?
because they knew we're innocent.
Thank you, you guys. We gotta go.
They're a strong network of people. They spend a lot of time building a strong network, but they're still stealing.
It just didn't seem right because too many people were driving really nice cars and the rest of the people were just normal. You know, it's obvious.
Investigators say as much as $12 million changed hands, but only a few people profited. Detectives say they expect to arrest several more people in the coming weeks.
According to the